former governor of Edo State, Senator Adams Oshiomhole, has faced backlash over his statement that Betsy Obaseki, the wife of the Edo State Governor Godwin Obaseki, has no child. The controversy erupted following a campaign event in Obiaja, where the People's Democratic Party launched its governorship campaign for Ishan Southeast local government area. And during the event, Betsy Obaseki highlighted the family aspect of the PDP candidate Aswe Ighodalo, introducing Ighodalo's wife Ifeyinwa, and she urged women to support Ighodalo, adding that he was the only candidate in the September 21st election with a wife, suggesting that this reflected better on women's empowerment. Responding, however, in an interview, Oshiomhole accused Betsy Obaseki of making a false claim that all Progressive Congress candidates, Monday Okpebolo, had no wife. He then controversially remarked that the Obasekis, who are in their 60s, are childless and have not adopted any children. Sir, this is concerning campaigns. I don't think that these constitute what a campaign should be. So if you could, in your capacity, to remind us what constitutes a campaign, sir.
Well, I think that, you know, these things happen in this country because Nigerians are not enlightened enough.
Exactly.
We are not...
that's why I want us to use this stage to enlighten them.
I've said that
let's enlighten
it is
them.
only when it comes to selection of political leaders that Nigerians all of a sudden become stupid people. We become senseless people. We become people who are mentally deranged, sorry to use that word, because we begin to hear all kinds of jargons and unprintable names, and at the end of the day, the person will still walk into that political office. In a sane environment, we shouldn't turn a campaign ground into a ground for character assassination and taunting people who have not been favored by God. If we say we are Christians, or if we say we are people who are religious people, you know, the issue of childbearing is people can be very healthy, medically fit, but have not been able to conceive. So it's not a, and then there are people who have just one chance and then they have it. And as a matter of fact, there is no law that says that a governor must be married. Neither is there any law that says that a governor must have all the children in the world. But just because the people who are running the campaigns have nothing to campaign on, they don't have any issue, they are not running issue-based campaign. That is why this type of
could that be a result of the bitterness that is existing in between the APC and the PDP in Edo State?
Whether it is as a result of the bitterness or not, I'm saying that it is because our people don't know what to look out for when it comes to leadership selection.
Enlighten us the anatomy of a campaign.
A campaign is
Yes.
where you sell your manifesto to the people. Your manifesto should be clear, it should be clear, it should be understood, it should be measurable, and things like that. You should be able to tell people there should be timeline on the promises you are making. You should be able to tell the people from month 1 to month 2, this will happen, that will happen, and if this don't happen, this will not happen. There should be data analysis of what you intend to do for the people. You should be able to let the people know what their problem is, how they got to the problem, and how they will be able to exit that problem. And when they exit this problem, what are the likely challenges they are going to have as if you exit the stage 1 of the challenges of the state. When you enter stage 2, what are the likely challenges you are going to have, and how are you going to solve the problem, and things like that. That is what anybody who wants to aspire to any office should be telling the people. So when you now come, because you don't even have an idea of what the problem of the state is, you don't even have an idea of how you are going to solve the problem, you don't even have an idea of where you are going and where you are coming from, you resort to telling people, saying, oh, look at his head is very big. Oh, look at his hand is short. This and that, as if leadership governance depends on somebody who have 2 wives or somebody who have 3 wives. As if you have all the wives in the world, you'll be able to function well. As if you don't have a child in the world, it means that your brain is not working. I mean, it's because we don't have any other thing to talk about. That's why we are. And I feel disappointed that somebody like Adams Oshiomhole will condescend that low to join issues with a talk that is not supposed to be. In fact, a man who does not have a child can even be bold enough to tell a man who is not married that he's not the responsible man. Why? Because marriage in our own in our culture is a sign of responsibility. It is a man who wants to be responsible that takes a wife. Any man who does not take a wife at certain age in our society is considered as an irresponsible person. So by extension, Betsy Obaseki is saying that Edo people should not hand over the state to a man who is not responsible.
But do you think that because of the lack of, should I call it, ideology in our party systems, that is why we are denigrating ourselves up to this point?
You know the issue of ideology.
And also, what can we do to institute ideology? Should it get to the National Assembly that they should mandate all parties to have an existing ideology?
You see, the issue of party ideology, as far as Nigerian politicians are concerned, is dead and buried long time ago.
And never to be resurrected?
Nobody talks about it. No, there is no political party in Nigeria that is ideological in nature. All the political parties in Nigeria are one and the same. In fact, let me tell you, if the PDP had won the election in Nigeria, 2023 election, the same thing that APC is doing now is what PDP would have done. The reason is that these are guys who have survived on public funds. So the reason why we can't talk about ideology, the only ideology in Nigerian politics is money.
How do we get back ideology?
The only way we can get back our political parties to ideology, what would have happened is, had it been that those who played some roles in the 2023 election were able to maybe sustain the argument of Labour Party, to say, oh, Labour Party from the XYZ won the election, or because of the argument of XYZ that Labour Party is making, the election stands cancelled. Let us do it again. And this time around, if you are doing it, this must happen, this must happen, this must happen. And Nigerians, please, everybody come out and please vote for someone who is going to make this country better. Look at what we are looking for in Nigeria. That is not even wrong in INEC setting parameters for political, those who are vying for political office, to say if you are going to have your campaign must address this, must address this, must address this. And Nigerians, if anybody who is not addressing this, and this, you Nigerian, you should not vote for him.
Does it alarm you that INEC has not even approached that topic before?
That's what I'm saying. That's why people can go on stage on the campaign and be saying that somebody is not giving birth or somebody is not married. Because if INEC has told you that, see, if you are going to be governor of Edo State has no road. There's no federal road in Edo State that is very, very motorable. Edo State is one of the states in this country that has the worst network of federal roads in this country. It does not. In fact, the last time I visited the Benin, Edo State, I saw a billboard mounted there by Edo State government under this same Obaseki, saying that please Nigerians should bear with them that this road is a federal road. Is that the kind of person that we should be dealing with? It is simply because we have a system that doesn't encourage dignity, that doesn't encourage sincerity, that doesn't encourage commitment of people that doesn't demand accountability from people who are in public offices. That if we have a system like that, then you know that when you have a campaign, and then use your campaign office to go and say that somebody married 20 wives, you know that you are losing vote. Look at what happened in the US. Joe Biden and Donald Trump had a debate. Just because Joe Biden did not perform very well that day, the whole country, the whole supporters of the started saying that no. If this man goes into the election with this type of performance, he will be defeated. Therefore, let us change him. Even though the man was insisting that he's going to, but at the point he noticed that, see, my party is saying that I cannot do well, so let me step aside, let me support another person. That kind of thing does not happen in Nigeria. And it does not happen because politicians don't believe that they get into political offices through the vote of the people. They believe that they buy their way into the. That's why we have in a country, we're in a country where somebody doesn't come for a debate, and yet he emerges a president of Nigeria. In US, that debate that Donald Trump had with Joe Biden, it's not even the final stage of the presidential debate.
Exactly.
It's not even because when the parties nominate their candidates, like they have done, they will still come back again. They did that debate as aspirants. Now, when they become the candidate, they will still have another round of debate. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So just because of being an aspirant, you perform badly in your presidential debate, your party say no, you cannot. Americans are saying no, this man does not know anything that he wants to do. Therefore, let us change him, and they change him.
Sir, in your career as a broadcast journalist, what can you say about the inability of Nigeria to institute debates as such, so that we test the capacity and capabilities of people vying for public offices? And why hasn't it been able to be sustained, sir?
Politicians in Nigeria since 1999 to date. In fact, all those who have occupied political offices in Nigeria since independence today.
Yes, sir.
What they have achieved, as far as I'm concerned, is that they have achieved underdevelopment, under-education, if there's any word like that. Politicians and political leaders in Nigeria have succeeded in creating about 200 million people who are not educated when it comes to selection of their political leaders. If Nigerians will understand the importance of selecting a governor or a president, politicians will sit up. Because you see Nigerians during election, by the way, when you say we want to elect the president of Nigeria, what we are saying in essence is that we want to elect the person who will decide how we eat, how we dress, when we go out, when whether we are going to go to church, whether we are going to worship God, whatever we want to do, we are electing the person that will decide how those things will be done.
Exactly.
And then you are telling me that it doesn't concern you, anything they like they should do. That is the mentality that Nigerian politicians have succeeded in engraving in the memory of Nigerians.
Oh, so the people do not make such demands of their representatives?
No.
Okay.
The people lack the capacity to make demands.
In what way, sir?
Because the people are weak. The people are weak. So when it is time for election, what the people are interested, what the people will say, okay, for instance, in our office the other time, we had an argument with somebody, and the person was excited that the River State governor, the immediate past River State governor, when he was about to leave, gave out 20,000 naira to some youth, about 20,000 youth for 3 months. And he was excited. And I was angry with him. And why was I angry? I was angry with him because you can't tell me that for 8 years that this man was in the office, he's only giving you 20,000 naira for 3 months. That is what is exciting about the whole thing. So I think that if Nigerians are properly educated, Nigerians will know that just like when you want to employ an accountant in your office, you look for an ICANN certified. You want to employ an engineer in your office, you look for current certified.
Exactly. You
want to employ an SA media, you look for a call journalist. Until when Nigerians come to that point where if you want to employ president of Nigeria, you look for somebody who have managed people, managed resources, and have achieved tremendous results in turning hopeless situation into a very viable situation. If Nigerians are able to do that, that is when politicians will go to campaign ground and talk about issues. But so long as Nigerians are still docile to the fact that when it is time for election, they'll come and share money, they'll come and share rice, they'll come and share this, and at the end of the day, carry go. Politicians will never be serious. In fact, Nigerian politicians are misbehaving today because Nigerians are not serious about who become either governor or president.
Okay, sir. Extensively. I believe that there are salient themes for us to also expand there, but for want of time, I want to pause here for today concerning this topic.